How is school?
School's good.
Russian.
School's good.
Oh, Keshvi is not happy. Keshvi is saying, why?
I don't like online school.
Even I'm not liking either. You guys are always in front of the system for hours.
Yeah. It's annoying.
It's annoying, right?
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
So you is it like a school for you? I mean, like, my son, he sits like from morning like a school, 8:30 to 3. He's in front of the system only. The teacher comes.
Oh, for us, Mataji, we have little breaks. Sometimes they're very big breaks too.
Same, we have breaks.
Lunch break,
For me,
break like that,
And
right?
for us, it starts at 9.
we have lunch breaks. We have lunch breaks
and
normal
mine
breaks
starts at
between
9 o'clock.
time.
Yes. What to do? Yeah.
Well, I don't have any. But sometimes
You please give rest to your eyes whenever possible. Don't watch too much of,
Yeah.
You cut down on your TV time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
So,
don't really watch.
Hare Krishna Mataji,
Hare Krishna. So, can we start?
Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, we can start reading.
Oh, no. First, we'll do prayers. Can we do prayers?
Yes.
Who wants? Can you play? Can somebody start?
Can I say prayers?
All of us together.
Okay.
Jagannath. Come on, start. Unmute yourself.
Ramchandra.
Ramchandra, go ahead. Start. Let's.
तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यार्थिने जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Very good. So let's let me see. Who wants to start? You finished till 5 yesterday, so we have to do 6, right?
Yes, we finished 5.
Ramachandra, can you please switch on your video?
Mataji, raise hand, Mataji.
I will use the raise hand. Okay, Mukunda.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, start.
न तद्भासयते सूर्यो न शशाङ्को न पावकः यद्गत्वा न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम.
Okay, thank you. Ramachandra, translation.
Okay. The supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, not by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to the material world.
Samskriti, can you start with the purport?
Okay, the spiritual world, the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, which is known as Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, is described here. In the spiritual sky, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, fire, or electricity because all the planets are luminous. We have only one planet in this universe, the sun, which is self-luminous, but all the planets in the spiritual sky are self-luminous. The shining
Effulgence
of all those plants called
Vaikunthas
continues the shine. Constitutes the shining sky known as the Brahma Jyoti.
Okay. Samskriti, we will give a thank you. You read very nicely.
Can I say?
Keshvi is there? Now you're going to someone. Keshvi, I saw her raising her hand. Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
You want to read?
Yes.
Okay,
Should I
start
read
from
all this or only
actually,
2 lines?
you have to start from here. Actually,
Actually, the L used in
No, no.
imitating
effulgence.
effulgence in emanating from the planet of Krishna. I can Krishna Goloka Vrindavan. Part of the shining effulgence is covered by the Mantatava.
Mahatava.
The material world, other than this major portion of the shining sky, is the full of spiritual planets, which are called
Vaikunthas.
Vaikunthas, chief of which is Goloka Vrindavan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who is raising the hand? Shubhadra, not Shubhadra. Shubhadra, I'll give you a chance. I have been seeing Sri Krishna.
Okay, Mataji. Up to where? Oh, the whole, okay.
As long as a living entity.
As long as a living entity in this dark material world, he is in conditional life. But as soon as he reaches the spiritual sky by cutting through the false, perverted tree of this material world, he becomes liberated. Then there is no chance of his coming back here.
Go ahead.
In his conditional life, the living entity considers himself to be the Lord of this material world. But in his liberated state, he enters to the spiritual kingdom and becomes as associate of the spiritual of the Supreme Lord. There he enjoys eternal bliss, eternal life, and full knowledge.
Thank you. Sri Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
should be. One should be. You have to start there. See, I'm highlighting. One should
Okay.
be.
One should be captivated by this information. He should desire to transfer himself to the eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who is too much attached to this material world, it is very difficult to cut that attachment. But if he takes Krishna consciousness, there is a chance of gradually becoming detached. One has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness.
Thank you. Um, Prahlad. Prahlad is there. I see him raising hand. Okay, maybe it's Rudra.
Sky by cutting through false tree of this material world, he becomes. One should be captivated.
Captivated.
Hey Krishna Mataji, I'm here.
One should be captivated
Captivated.
by this information. He should desire to transfer himself into that internal.
Rudra, you have to start from here.
One should search out a society dedicated to material world and Krishna consciousness and learn how to discharge devotional service. In this way, he could cut off his attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached from the attraction of the material world simply by distracting himself in saffron clothed. He must become attached to devotional service of the Lord.
Thank you. Prahlad?
Therefore, one should take it very seriously. Real that devotional service as described in the 12th chapter is the only way to get out of this false representation of the real tree in chapter 14. The contamination of all kinds of process by material nature is described only. Devotional service is described as purely transcendental.
Thank you. Ramachandra?
Mataji, could you send us this link in the chat?
That? Okay.
Can I go, Mataji?
Yes, Ramachandra, go ahead.
Okay. The word paramam, mama are very important here. Actually, every nook and corner is the property of the Supreme Lord. But the spiritual world is paramam, full of six opulences in Katha Upanishad 2.15. Also confirmed that the spiritual world there is no near sunshine, moonshine, or stars. Natatta Surya Bhati na Chandra Tarakam. For the whole spiritual sky is illuminated by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord. That supreme abode can be achieved only by surrender and by no other means.
How many of us want to go to that planet? Then no. So now see, every time we tell and you listen. So what did you understand from the purport? I want to hear the points. Who wants to say? Yes, Ramachandra.
So I heard a lot in this chapter, like this shloka, that in the spiritual world there's no need of sunshine or moonshine.
Why?
Because it's like already illuminated by like the
Yes.
body,
Because
the Supreme Lord, I think.
Yes. Why are you crying? Anybody wants to share any point from the shloka? No. Isn't it exciting? There is no sun, there is no moon, but it's always bright. And if you go there, you don't come back here. We all want to go there, right? Yes, Kushi, you want to go or no? Kushi is banging her head. Okay.
But it'll be odd because in this material world, we've been with the sun and moon a lot.
Yes.
So it'll
For
be different.
me. We feel it different, right? But Ojasvi, why are you serious? Are you scolding me? Seriously, she's looking at the screen. Okay. Thank you, Ramachandra. So you have to be attentive. I'm going to ask what you understood from the shloka while you're reading, okay? Okay. Next, let me see who's raising the hand. Who's raising hand? Kushi is there. Kushi, you can start. Now, those who wants to read, please raise your hand because I still see the hands of those who read in the previous shloka.
ममेवांश जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातना मनः सृष्टानि इन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. Thank you, Mataji.
You can read the translation also, Kushi.
Okay. The living entities in this condition world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind.
Ojasvi,
Yes, Mataji.
you can start reading the purport.
In this verse, the identity of the living being is clearly given. The living identity,
Living entity.
the living entity is the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord eternally. It is not that he assumes individuality in this conditional life and he liberated state becomes one with the Supreme Lord. He is externally fragmented. It is clearly said, Sanatanaha, according to the Vedic version, the Supreme Lord manifests and expands himself in
Innumerable.
innumerable expansions, or of which the primary expansions are called Vishnu Tattva, and the secondary expansions are called the living entities. In other words, the Vishnu Tattva is the personal expansion, and the living entities are the separated expansions.
Okay. Who is raising hand? Thank you, Ojasvi. Is that Prat? Okay. Pratmesh is there. Pratmesh, go ahead. Good to see you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
By his personal expansion, he is manifested in various forms, like Lord Rama, Nrsimhadev, Vishnu Murti, and all the predominating deities in the Vaikuntha planets. The separated expansions, the living entities, are internally servitors. The personal expansions of Supreme Personality of Godhead, the individual identities of Godhead are always present. Similarly, the separated expansions of living entities have their identities as fragmental parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. The living entities also have fragmental portions of his qualities, of which independence is one. Every living entity, as an individual soul, has his personal individuality and a minute form of independence.
Thank you, Pratmesh. Vivek.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is actually Akshita.
Oh. Akshita, go ahead.
By misuse of the independence, one becomes conditioned. Lord is. In his liberated state, he is freed from this material condition, and he is under the
Yeah. I think you have to start. You somewhere. Can you read again? By misuse? Can you
by
start?
misuse of that independence, one becomes conditioned soul and
third line.
yeah, okay. Conditioned soul, and by proper use of the independence, he is always liberated. In either causes, he is
Qualitatively.
qualitatively eternal, as the Supreme Lord is. In his liberated state, he is freed from this material condition, and he is under the engagement of the transcendental service unto the Lord. In his conditioned life, he is dominated by the material modes of nature, and he forgets the transcendental loving service of the Lord. As a result, he has to struggle very hard to maintain his existence in the material world.
Okay. Abhigya.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
The living entities, not only human beings and the cats and dogs, but even the greater controllers of the material world. Brahma, Lord Shiva, and even Vishnu are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. They are all eternal, not temporary manifestations. Manifestations. The word scarcity, struggling or grappling hard, is very significant. The conditioned soul is bound up as though shackled by from chains, by iron chains. He is bound up by the false ego, and the mind is the chief agent which is driving him in this material existence.
Thank you. Arav. Arav, you can start reading from here. Arav is there?
Yes, Mataji.
Can you read? Uh-oh. Start reading.
When the mind is in the mode of goodness, his activities are good. When the mind is in the mode of passion, his activities are troublesome. And when the mind is in the mode of ignorance, he travels in the lower species of life. It is clear, however, in this verse that the conditioned soul is covered by the material body with the mind and senses. And when he is liberated, this material covering perishes, but his spiritual body manifests itself in its spirit individual capacity. The following information is in the Madhyan
Madhyandina. Okay.
Shruti. Sava Isha Brahmanishta Idam Shariram Martyam Atishrijya Brahmabhi Sampada
Brahmana
Pushyati Brahmana
Shunoti
Brahman
Brahman Naivedam
Sarvam Anubhavati.
Thank you, Arav. Okay, let me see. Advait.
Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Hmm.
It is stated here that when a living entity gives up this material embodiment and enters into the spiritual world, he revives his spiritual body. And in his spiritual body, he can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. He can hear and speak to him face to face, and he can understand the Supreme Personality as he is. From Smriti, also it understood Vansan Tiyata Purusha Sava Vaikunta Muchaye. In spiritual planets, everyone in bodies featured like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As far as the bodily construction is concerned, there is no difference between the part and parcel entities and the expansions of Vishnu Murti. In other words, a liberation, the living entity gets a spiritual body by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Advait. But next time when you're reading, please switch on your video, okay?
Okay, Mataji.
Balram.
Oh, okay, Mataji. The words Mame Vamsha, fragmental parts, and parse
For the fragmental portion.
fragmental parts and partials of the Supreme Lord are also very significant. The fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is not like some material broken part we have already understood in the second chapter that the script cannot be cut into pieces. The fragmental is not materially conceived in the it is not like matter which can be cut into pieces and joined together again. This conception is not
Applicable?
applicable here because the Sanskrit word eternal is used fragmental portion in eternal thing.
Okay. Sai?
Okay, Mataji. Mataji, it is also stated in the beginning of the second chapter that in each and every individual body, the fragmental portion of the Supreme Lord is present. Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumalam yovanam jagatata deyanta apaptu devastatanamuyati. That fragmental portion, when liberated from the bodily entanglement, revives its original spiritual body in the spiritual sky, in a spiritual planet, and enjoys association with the Supreme Lord. It is, however, understood here that the living entity, being the fragmental part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, is qualitatively
Qualitative.
one with the Lord, just as parts and parcels of gold are also gold. Thank you, Mataji.
Okay, thank you. So now I want you all to tell some points which you understood from this shloka. Who wants to say? Let me see how many of you are listening. One or two? Arav?
Mataji, yes.
Mataji, I learned that that if we go to the spiritual world, we can meet face to face to Krishna, and also that we are, when we go to spiritual world, we're part and parcel of Krishna. So like gold.
No, we are part and parcel of Krishna even here. We are all.
We are, no, but not us. Our soul is. But when we go to when we go to Goloka Vrindavan, then our body will also be part and parcel of Krishna, because we will get a spiritual body.
Who is that?
Advait.
Okay, wait. For now, I am just listening. Let me see what others are saying. Arav, you have something to say? What is Krishna saying in the shloka?
That the living entity is a fragmental part of Krishna, a part and parcel. And because of conditioned life, they're struggling hard with the mind and eyesight, hearing, touch, smell.
Just give me a minute. Just give me a second. Okay. Pratmesh, you have something to say?
Yes, Mataji.
So what is the shloka saying?
So I think it is saying that we are the part and parcel of Lord Krishna, and we like never get attached to our six senses.
Yeah, so we are the fragmental parts and parts of Krishna, and Prabhupada many times is explained. Just now we said about gold example. If there is ocean and you take one drop of water from the ocean, I think we discussed in one of our Govinda group classes also. Like one drop of ocean has the same if you take to a lab, chemistry lab, and you observe, it will be the same molecule. The big ocean has same molecules. The small drop of water also has the same qualities, right? It is not that ocean has something else and the drop has something else. So qualitatively we are same, but quantitatively Krishna is everything so much, and we have everything very less. That is the thing. We are part, and but we forget. We think we are the boss. That is the problem. When we come into this material nature, we are forgetting that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We don't behave that way. So that is the reason all these problems we are facing in this material nature. But you're all very nice children. So you're nicely taking up Krishna consciousness very well. So very soon, you remember, like we did last time in the class, we said with spiritual eyes, we don't see Krishna everywhere because we don't have spiritual eyes, right? We don't have a spiritual body, we don't have a spiritual eyes. So that is the reason we can't see Krishna everywhere. But frankly speaking, Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is there in every atom. Everything is coming from him. So how do we get, like, you remember Dhruv Maharaj pastime? If you see in Bhagavatam, Dhruv Maharaj pastime, Dhruv Maharaj gets the spiritual body before he enters the plane that was sent by, that comes from Vaikunta, the golden aeroplane. What happens? He gets a spiritual body. So when we also go back to Goloka, what will happen? We also will get a golden aeroplane and a spiritual body, because with material body, we cannot enter there. That's why that's why you're all on the right track, doing everything very nicely. Let's
Mataji, why do we get a golden airplane?
Suraj always asks, why do we get a golden airplane? Because that is the vehicle that will take us back. You need something to go back. Will you fly like a bird and go to Goloka?
No, I thought you meant that in Goloka I will have something to ride on, like a car or something.
No, for Suraj, what will happen? Krishna will come in his dream and he will say, okay, come back to Goloka, and Suraj will fly like a bird to Goloka. He will fly.
I want.
Right, Suraj? And if somebody wants to take, Suraj will take in the beak. He will hold in the beak and he will fly with us.
No.
No, right? So that is how we have to
turn
go.
it to
See, these aeroplanes are nothing. They're just made up of metals. But if you have to go to Goloka, it is such a big, like see, is there any better place than Goloka? So it's all opulent. You will get a golden aeroplane to take you. Okay. So now eighth shloka.
Mataji?
Srini Krishna wants to try. Who somebody call?
Yeah, Mataji, I wanted to say something what I learned from the seventh.
Oh, Akshita, sorry. Go ahead. Tell.
So, what I learned that it was about the soul, that the soul cannot be destroyed by any weapon or anything.
Very nice. Soul cannot be destroyed by any weapon, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What is the shloka in Bhagavad Gita which says soul cannot be killed by anything? I think Vrinda is here. Oh, Sri Krishna is. No. Let us ask Bala Vrinda.
I know one.
I know one.
Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. I don't think she's there.
Mataji, I know a shloka.
Can you give us a shloka?
Another shloka, Mataji.
I was just trying to ask Vrinda.
Yes, Vrinda can do it.
Yes, Vrinda, go ahead. Say the shloka which says that. No, I am asking the shloka which says that the soul cannot be killed by any weapon, fire. What?
That's where I was going.
Very good.
Same.
Big claps to Vrinda. Good job. Okay. So, eighth shloka, who wants to read? Me.
Mataji, can Vrinda do this one?
Vinita Gandharvika Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, can Vrinda do this?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. What is this shloka, Mataji?
See, I am showing on the screen 8. Shariram yata Okay. Jagannath, come here. You want to read translation? Okay.
The living entities in the material world carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another as the air carries aromas. Thus he takes one kind of body and again quits to it to take another.
Thank you, Tina.
Um,
Okay. Okay, we'll give chance to Jagannath. He's sitting right in front of me, and then
he was laughing.
Vastava, I'll ask somebody else. Okay. Okay. He's feeling. Who is there?
Could I see?
No, you got Varun Kasturi. Varun Kasturi is here. I see him raising hand. After that, you come. Are you there, Varun?
Yeah,
Want to read?
okay. Here the living entity is described as Ishvara, the controller of his own body. If he likes, he can change his body to a higher grade, and if he likes, he can move to a lower class. Many independence is there. The change his body undergoes depends upon him. At the time of death, the consciousness he has created will carry him on to the next type of body. If he has made his consciousness like that of a cat or dog, he is sure to change to a cat or dog's body.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Aditya. Aditya.
Okay, then should I read the next part?
Yes.
Okay. And if he has fixed his consciousness on godly qualities, he will change into the form of a demigod. And if he is in Krishna consciousness, he will be transferred to Krishna Loka in the spiritual world and will associate with Krishna. It is a false claim that after the annihilation of this body and everything is finished, the individual soul is transmigrating from one body to another, and his present body and present activities are in the background of his next body.
Thank you. Jagannath, you want to read? No, come here.
One gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit his body in due course.
Stated.
It's stated here that the subtle body which carries the conception of the next body develops another body in the next life. The process of transmigrating from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karshati, or struggle for existence.
Okay. This is a very nice shloka. It's simple also. So now can you tell me what did you understand from this shloka? Okay, somebody is raising the hand. Let me pick. Abhairam.
One gets a different body according to karma, and he has to quit this body in due course. It is stated here that the subtle body, which carries the conception of the next body, develops another body in the next life. The process of transmigrating from one body to another and struggling while in the body is called karsati, or struggle for existence.
No, that is done reading. I was just asking, since the purport is over, I was asking you all to tell what did you understand from the shloka. Suraj, you want to say?
Yes, Mataji.
Tell me.
In the shloka, I learned that after one quits his body, takes another body.
Okay. So what?
Because that's what it teaches.
Okay. When the soul, yeah, the soul keeps taking another body. Okay.
Bhagavad Gita, there's also another shloka, like how it goes into another body.
What is that?
Dehinosmin.
Hey, you said Dehinosmin? Finish the sloka.
Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhira trinamohyati.
Okay. Then what else? There are some. Wait. Akshita. Pratmesh.
Yes, Mataji. So I learned that the soul keeps on taking he keeps on taking one kind of body after another.
Okay. So the soul, the body keeps changing, right? But what are we carrying with us when we leave the body? We are carrying something in our mind, right? We carry all our desires. This morning in
Thoughts.
In the Bhagavatam class, Preeti Vilasni Mataji was explaining very nicely that yes, the body is here, but life after life, we keep carrying our desires with us. That doesn't go. So based on the desires, what happened? That's why few desires are so strong in this life. We cannot give them up. Even after coming to Krishna consciousness, few desires we let them go quickly. But few are so strong because the desires keep continuing, body after body, body after body. So we have to be very careful in what we are desiring for. If we keep our bad desires, then what will happen? We carry them forward. If we are envious on anybody, or if we are too much like we want to earn money, we want to become beautiful. So those kind of desires, if you're always contemplating on those desires, you carry it. And based on that, oh, Krishna will think, okay, this soul has a burning desire of, having to eat meat. Then what will they happen? Krishna will say, okay, maybe it's not suitable in human body. You have to become a tiger, or you have to become a lion, or if you want to become very very beautiful, maybe you have to take an like some other body which is suitable. So we should be very careful on what we are desiring. We should be very cautious of our thoughts and desires. Okay, because that is going to decide our next life.
Mataji, can Akshita say something? Sorry, I was on mute.
Yes, Akshita. Go ahead.
So I learned this verse was basically talking about the body, like when it when you die and you get a next birth. So basically, according to your karma, you get a next life, and according to your karma and desires, you that based on that you get an next body in whatever it is.
I think Ramachandra say something.
Yes, Ramachandra.
I heard in one lecture that when you pass away, there's also like you bring your material, not material. I mean, what the progress of spiritual, like if you did some spiritual activities, that will come with you in your next life when you pass away, and then you keep on like there was one example of a jar. If there's like so you have to keep on filling that jar with devotional service until you make it full, and then you can go to Krishna.
Yes. So that's why we see some kids, 2-year, 3-year-old kids also can, recite the whole Bhagavad Gita, 3-year, 4-year. Why? Because they're carrying those good desires and impressions from their previous life that they're able to do it immediately. So we have to guard our desires, and we should always try to have good desires. Teen Krishna wants to say something.
If you don't wear proper dresses, you'll become a tree.
He's saying if you don't wear proper dresses, you'll become a tree.
Yeah, I heard one lecture. Prabhupada says if you like don't wear proper dresses, then that means you become tree. I heard that lecture by Prabhupada.
Correct. Very nice, Ramachandra. You're hearing Prabhupada. Very good. You're hearing different lectures. Yes, Mukunda.
I also know that when we are struggling from one body to another body, when we are going through all of the bodies, then it is in Sanskrit word, it is called karshati, or
Karshati.
struggle for existence.
Very nice.
It says that in the purport also, the last sentence.
Correct.
Mataji, so I saw that even if you're like cat or a dog, like if you have good qualities, you could like go back to God.
The time of death. What? Who said that?
Abhigya.
What were you saying? Can you come again?
So if someone has the consciousness of like some type of cat or dog, like probably he would become a cat or dog in his next life. If he acts like a lion, he'll maybe become a lion in his next life. Like it's depending on your karma.
Okay.
Mataji,
Ah?
I also heard Preeti Vilasini Mataji's class a little bit in the morning, and she was also talking about the desires and like different stories. Yeah, and desires like Dhruva Maharaj and Bhishma and all that.
You know Amba's story?
I mean, yeah, I've heard it from the Mahabharata a little, if I remember.
I've heard of it, but I never knew it. I don't know what the story is.
I heard that in
Okay, then I will tell you in a shortcut. This is one of my favorite story also. So we all know that Bhishma decided not to marry, right? So for whatever reasons, that's a different story. But Bhishma had, who are his brothers? Vichitra Virya and Chitrangada, right? They were born from Satyavati, Satyavati and Shantanu Maharaj. So Bhishma was born from Ganga, and Shantanu Maharaj and Ganga had Bhishma. Shantanu Maharaj and Satyavati had Vichitravirya and Chitrangada. So when they decided to get Vichitravirya and Chitrangada married, then what happened? Bhishma
went to the a kingdom and kidnapped two girls, Ambika and Ambalika, and then he let Amba go free because Amba said that she already had a lover named Shalva.
Yeah, who is saying this?
Advait.
Yes. Yeah, because she wanted to marry Salva, then what will happen? Bhishma will say, okay, please go back. But then what will happen? She was being rejected.
Before this, before all of this, Shantanu Maharaj married
No, okay, we are going out of, let me finish. We don't have time.
No, so, I mean, because I forgot her name. Who did Shantanu Maharaj marry?
Okay, Advait, thank you. I'm saying we are running out of time, so quickly I will finish. Okay. Those who don't know, I will tell. Just listen. So what happens? Now Amba was sent back. Bhishma says, okay, you please go back, because she's already, decided to marry Salva. So then when she goes back, Salva says, how can I accept you? Because Bhishma defeated me and he took you, so I cannot accept you. So she was rejected by Shalva. Then she comes back and asks Bhishma, at least you marry me. Bhishma says, no, I took a oath that I will never marry. How can you marry? And Bhishma is not marrying her. Shalva is not marrying her. She doesn't know what to do. And basically her whole life, Suraj, Prasad is still sticking to your hand. So no, everybody is rejecting her. So she will feel like she will become so revengeful towards Bhishma. Then she wants to take revenge on him. Then she will start doing tapasya. Then Lord Shiva will come. She will express the desire that, yes, I want to, I want to be the cause of, I want to kill Bhishma. Then Shiva will say, it's okay, like this lifetime you cannot do, but next lifetime you will be the cause of his death. So then Amba, what will she do? She will sacrifice, like she will leave her body voluntarily because she cannot wait so long. She is thinking like, I have to leave this body, then take another body and be the cause of Bhishma's death. So then she will come as Shikandi. That's another story. So next life she became Shikandi, who Arjuna kept in front of him and then shot arrows. Because Shikandi is, who knows this story?
Half boy, half girl.
Well, basically, she's
Okay,
boy,
Shikandi was,
half girl.
because
She
Shikandi
used
is
to be
a
a
girl in the last
girl,
life.
but then she
Bhishma
turned
knows the
into a
pastime, right?
boy.
Bhishma knows that she was Amba, that Shikandi is Amba. So he took an oath that he will not even fight with the girls, right? So then what will happen? Because Arjuna kept Shikandi in front of him, he was not able to shoot arrows because he took an oath that he will not even fight with the women. So because Shikandi was there, he couldn't retaliate back. That is how Arjuna could shoot arrows. Of course, this is all again the plan script of Krishna. We have so many inside, like one story has another story, one story has another story. So many stories, especially in Mahabharata. So see, Amba carried the desire. The point we are discussing the story is here. Amba carried her desire. So we all also will carry our desires, which we have to be very careful. We have to guard our desires. Is the point, the main point that I wanted to say in this shloka. You all are very nice children. You're hearing attentively. Mataji, I think it is time, right, Mataji? We have to end it here, right?
Yes, Mataji. It's 8
Vinita Gandharvika?
Mataji is 8:09.
It's 8:10. We have another class.
Yes.
Vinita Gandharvika, Mataji.
Mataji, it is 5.
Mataji, we have the.
Okay, but I think it's 8:10. They have another class. So we will end it here.
Sure,
Maybe you
Mataji.
can
Thank you
continue
so
tomorrow
much.
from there. Okay?
Oh, Mataji, thank you so much for the
Let's-
reading. And you can just, Mataji, which verse did you stop
From next
to
week,
talk?
we'll start our new topic.
Okay,
Okay.
Mataji. Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Good night,
Hare
all of
Krishna,
you.
Mataji.
See you next week.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Krishna.